Hey, what's up, everyone? It's your girl, Cherrell. I'm the host of Let's Talk the Show, and this ain't a podcast. I want to thank you guys for joining me this Tuesday like you guys do every Tuesday. But before we get started, make sure you guys go ahead and click that arrow in your lower right corner and share this live with 3 friends you think will love the conversation. Like you guys have probably seen me post, and tonight's episode is about making new friends on social media, and I'm super excited to talk about it. But before we get into that, you guys know we got to start off with something that we're grateful for, and I'm going to kick it off. You know what? I am grateful for I am grateful. I know I just kept saying that. What I'm grateful for? I don't know. Y'all, I'm having a hard time today. What? 1 second, guys. Okay. Sorry about that. I am grateful for, I don't know what I'm grateful for. I'm just going to be saying I'm grateful to be alive. I see you guys are joining. Make sure you drop in the comment section something you are grateful for. Tonight, we're talking about, you guys, making new friends on social media. Okay. We ran into some issues, so I apologize about being late. We've had like some real technical difficulties. All right. So we're talking about making friends on social media. So we're gonna kick it off with, I think, as you guys saw, a lot of people like don't have my sign and stuff here. It was a lot, y'all. So a lot of people have been saying that they want to make new friends. Like they need new friends. Their old friends don't want to do stuff, and we're gonna talk about that. Okay. So people have been saying they want to make new friends, and that they don't know how to go about making new friends and stuff. And you know, it's like awkward to make new friends. People are dissing their old friends on social media in hopes of making new friends. Let me tell y'all, some shady ass bitches for doing that. So making new friends on social media, I don't feel like I don't think it's that hard. I think, you know, traditionally we're used to making friends in common places and play, or with common friends, mutual friends. So a lot of people meet their friends through other friends that they've had for a nice amount of time. Or you meet your friends or make friends in places that you're always at. So a lot of your friends you've made in school, at the gym, at work, wherever you are most of the time, a lot of times that's where you can meet your friends at. And so as adults, it kind of does get hard to make friends because it's like people are living their own lives. They're outside of work or home. There's not many other places that you are regularly, unless you go to church, so maybe some people are making friends at church and stuff like that. But outside of that, if you're not really leaving the house, I guess if you're not really leaving the house much, or you're just really a busy person, it may be hard to make friends. Another thing is that it can be really, some people are feeling like they've outgrown their friendships, and so they're looking for new friends, or you just feel like maybe your friends, I don't want to say goals, but your interests just don't align. So maybe they're good for some things, but the things that are really fueling you right now, you really want to partake in, and your friends are interested. And I feel like that is cool. That's completely okay. I think that when it comes to making new friends, I don't think you should ever be opposed to it. I think it's always nice to have new perspectives, fresh eyes, new ideas, and just different. I'm getting really tired of that word vibes and energy. Like, I'm getting really tired of that. So I think it's always pretty dope to get new energies and new personalities around you, to give you a better outlook on yourself, on life, on whatever. So I'm not opposed to that. But I think that when you want to make new friends, it's important that I think there's like a lot of different ways you can look at this. Like when you're making new friends, you got to keep in mind, what exactly are you looking for? I think sometimes that can be an obstacle when it comes to making new friends on social media. It's like, what are you really looking for? Not necessarily what are you looking for in a friend, but why do you want a new friend? Like, what's your end goal? Do you just really want somebody to talk to, or is it because you're looking to travel? So I think that a good way when you want to start making friends on social media, the first thing you want to do is like, why are you looking for new friends? You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that you should completely X out your old friends, but I think that if you feel like you want a new friend for whatever reason, have you exhausted that option with your old friends? And if that's the case, then absolutely go ahead. But if not, I think that sometimes people, excuse me, I need you to get out. I need to finish working. Close the door, please. I think that sometimes people are saying they're looking for new friends, And it's like, you haven't even explored the option with your old friends. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, when you're going to go look for a new friend, be intentional about it. I think that's the first thing. Know exactly what you're looking for. Are you looking for a friend to travel? Are you looking for a study buddy? Are you looking for somebody in the same career path as you? And if you are, like, that's cool. But do you know if you're capable of doing these things with your friends? I see a lot of people get on there like, I don't got friends. My friends don't ever want to do X, Y, Z. It's like, you never brought it up to your friends. You know what I'm saying? So, like, don't be shady when you're trying to find new friends. That's cool. But, you know, you can find a new friend without having to shade your old friends. I think that's the point I'm trying to make right there. So keep in mind that when you're going out to make new friends, don't be trying to shade your old friends. Be intentional about what you're looking for. Another thing that I'm going to show you guys some comments that we had here. Another thing that a lot of people were saying, let me see here. So let me see here. Okay, so we have a comment here that from my Facebook page by Dominique. She said, I have one of my closest friends have been on the internet for maybe 10 years. Can you please leave? I'm trying to work. Excuse me, you guys. Please, I'm trying to work. Sorry about that, you guys. So Dominique says, I have one of my closest friends have been on the internet, has been just an internet friend for maybe 10 years before we met. I think people overthink it. And I think people think too much about what others will think. Which is crazy because people start families through DMs, so why can't people make real friends? And I wholeheartedly agree with Dominique. And it's super dope that she's had a friend for 10 years on the internet before she met her. I feel like that's a long time to build a friendship. I feel like it's really authentic, even if it's just through a text message. I don't know if I could do 10 years out. I'm sure I've gone 10 years knowing these people on fucking Facebook talking to. I'm sure I have. But like a really close, intimate relationship, intimate friendship, well, not an intimate friendship, but a really close friendship, I don't know. But different strokes for different folks. It works for her, and I feel like more power to you. I feel like the way that you I feel like making friends with social media is becoming more normal, let's say this. Making friends now with social media seems non-traditional, but I think that those traditional things maintain the friendship. And I think that's hanging out in person, finding common value, hanging out in person, finding what things you guys have in common, and really just maintaining that friendship is, you got to do those through the traditional things, So I really like that. And I also think she made a really great point that speaks to people think too much about what others will think. And I think that's a really big thing, because I feel like it's still kind of taboo when people be like, oh, how'd you meet? Oh, we met on Facebook. I mean, well, you know what? Let me take that back. I feel like it's kind of normalized now to say you met your mate on social media, but it's not that normal to say I met my friend on there. And I think the thing is, people always assume that once you make a friend on social media, it's not real. They think that they want something from you, or that it's just not authentic for whatever reason. I don't know what that's about though either, because I don't know. I feel like people always think that if you meet a mate on social media, that is real and they're genuine. But if you meet a friend, that they gotta be fake or something. Maybe because, I don't know, I see, like, when I think about people meeting people on social media, anytime I see the post, it's always feel like people that party all the time. So maybe they think that the relationship, like your friendship, isn't real, it's just partying. And let me say this, you have different friends for different purposes. So maybe that's what that is. I think that's a good point. I think that when people make friends on social media, it's kind of frowned upon, because they usually just think like it's not a real friendship. They think in the traditional sense, like you have to meet them at work or something like this. But I feel like I agree with Dominique. If you can meet somebody random as hell on social media and build a whole fucking family and get married, then why the fuck can't you make a lifetime friend on social media? I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. I also want to say that I feel like when it comes to making friends, a lot of people are, it's awkward. I think that is really awkward, and a lot of people don't want to address the awkwardness. And I feel like there's so much, it's like the elephant in the room. Everybody knows it's kind of weird, it's kind of different, but I feel like once you embrace the awkwardness that is meeting a new friend on social media, you really start to build and open yourself up to potentially a great friendship. It's the elephant in the room, and once you address it and just embrace it and welcome it in, it's not that big of a deal. And so I think that, like, motherfuckers really gotta get out of, like, just like she said, like, motherfuckers really gotta get out of the idea of thinking what somebody else think, and just really be in tune with how you feel. Like, yes, it's awkward. Like, we meet and it's like, this kind of awkward. Like, if we can acknowledge how awkward it is, it just makes it that less awkward, because we're on the same boat. Like, we understand how each other's thinking and how each other's feeling. And I think that really not only does that open the door for a great friendship, but I think it kind of allows you to be a little vulnerable. That space to be vulnerable really allows the other person to come in. That's a good point. Everybody, and I think that the one reason that people are not succeeding in friendships is because it requires vulnerability. And I feel like if you don't have to make a new friendship and you already have gotten past this opening up stage in your old friendships, then it can be scary trying to do that with a new person, especially if it's not a romantic interest. Not to mention, a lot of people don't know how to pursue a friendship because the only relationships outside of family that they have are romantic. They don't know how to pursue platonic friendships. So a lot of times those toxic behaviors pour over, but we're going to talk about that. So I think that just like relationships, when it comes to these friendships and making friends, is people really want what they don't want to give. And you have to be vulnerable. And not saying you got to tell all your business and all that, but you, to a degree, nigga, you got to be like, yo, this is kind of awkward. And then the other person be like, yeah, it is kind of awkward. It's weird, ain't it? And then y'all just go from there. And it's like, okay, well, it ain't weird no more, bitch, you my friend. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's what you need to happen. But nobody wants to be the person that gives in first. But somebody got to give something so that we can get somewhere, you know? But again, that's just the way people are set up nowadays. Nobody wants to give the very thing that they want in return. Yet they're on Facebook all the time posting about it. Like, you don't want to give or be the type of person that you want to be friends with. And it's like, it doesn't work like that. And I feel like people are more likely to deal with that from the opposite sex than they are with the same sex. I feel like a lot of times it could be that you feel like if you're a girl and she's a girl, then she know how girls think and she could see you. I don't know. It feels like she could see your flaws and she could see the shit you doing, and then you will be forced to deal with your own shit. And I feel like maybe that's kind of a root of it. Maybe nobody wants to genuinely make those friendships because they force you to really look at yourself. When you're dealing with somebody that's like you, they think like you, they sound like you, you know, they know things like, you know, they think like you. So it's like, it's hard for you to try to run game on somebody that already run game. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like when you're dealing with the opposite sex, they may not necessarily know all your moves. So the same sex person will obviously know your moves because they think like you, they look like you, they act like you. So yeah, I hope that makes sense. Because I know I just went like all over the place, but my point is just that I think that when it comes to making new friends, it can be difficult because it forces you, same sex, let me make sure I said that. When it comes to making new friends on social media, it can be awkward because especially with the same sex, it kind of forces you to look at yourself because you guys probably act alike. And I don't think a lot of people are willing to deal with their toxic behaviors and to really grow. Not to mention, it also requires just a level of vulnerability. Like, you gotta address the awkwardness that it is and the almost tabooness of making friends on social media. Like, you got to, and somebody has to give in and say, yo, this is kind of weird, just to break the ice, because it'll always be there. But if you guys don't address it, it just gets bigger, and then you kind of, you know, you kind of put that wall in between you two for making a great friendship. You also gotta stop, you know, you also gotta not think about what others think. I think that it's cool to be like, hey, I met my friend on social media. Girl, we've been friends ever since. I see, you know, you see a lot of people that are making new friends on social media, and I see them through traveling. That's the biggest thing I see people when they make new friends. They're making new friends on social media and they're traveling. And I think that's dope. I think that's really dope. I seen it, on Travel Noir. I've seen it there. I seen me and my friend were talking. I think he said Black Girls Travel. Like, so sometimes you see women that literally meet women on the internet and they're like, book a trip together, and they go, you know, on a trip together. They go wherever. And I think it's so dope. Sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't. But I think, shit, that's the same way with your friends. So I think that's really dope. I think that if it works for people that travel, I feel like it can work for same people in the city that just want to go get Starbucks or some shit, or that just want to go to this concert with somebody, or that just want to do XYZ. And I think you really open yourself to meeting new people, and you never know what can happen. You know, you never know what experiences you can have, what people you can meet, how you grow as a person, what new perspectives. And I feel like there are so many people in this world that you don't have to limit yourself to your same 3-4 friends. That's another thing me and my friend was talking about. The idea that you only got to have 3 close friends. You can have a bunch of friends for different things. You know what I'm saying? You can have 10 really good close friends and they all be for different things. You know what I'm saying? You can have a friend from work that you don't tell all your business to, and a close friend from school that you do tell your business. You got a friend that you just met through the social media that you guys have gotten really close, and that's who you tell your business to. Or you could just have a friend that you've been on social media that y'all really just do traveling together. Like, you can have a bunch of friends for a bunch of different things, and I think that when you open your mind to the possibility, you never know what you're going to get. So open your mind. Be a little more open-minded. Know why you're looking for new friends. I think, let me see. There's a lot of things I wanted to talk about. I think another good thing is, like, why are so many people looking for friends? I think that we're getting older. I think a lot of people are outgrowing their friendships. I think a lot of people are they're in, I think, let me say this. I think the number one reason that people are looking for new friends is because their interests are changing. I see a lot more people who are shaping what they like. They're shaping what fun looks like to them. They're reshaping what fun looks like to them. Because I know for the bulk of the people around me, fun was, taking a little trip or two. Fun was going to the club. That's when we were early. Now we're in our late 30s. People have their careers, have their families. Fun looks different. Fun for a lot of people looks like spending every weekend with your family. If you're drinking at home, playing games, that's what fun looks like. Fun looks like if I'm not with my family, I'm taking a trip. And I want friends that want to do the same thing. And I think that's perfectly okay. For some people still at 28, fun still looks like going to the club and popping bottles. And that's okay. And I think that you shouldn't be mad at anyone else for how they shape their fun or whatever their interests are. If it doesn't fit for you, it just doesn't fit for you, and that's okay. You know what I'm saying? That's okay if you're not the friend to go to no more for popping bottles. That's okay if you're not the friend that want to go on museums and try new coffee spots. That's okay. That doesn't mean that you guys aren't really good friends. If anything, it makes you guys that much better of a friend that you can say, you know what? I fuck with you. I just don't fuck with you like this on this level. I'm going to find a friend that want to do this. Because I think that when you start forcing your friends to do things that they don't want to do or that just don't fit in, I think when you start forcing your friends to try to find interest in your interest, like you start wearing away at your friendship. So it's cool to be like, no, my friends don't do that. She don't do that, but I got her to do this. And I feel like you shouldn't shame your friend for doing that. You should be like say, you know what? I'm going to go do such and such with such and such. And then maybe I go hang out with such and such to do a different thing. Like nobody has one thing they like to do. You like to do a bunch of different things. And I think it's okay to find friends that want to do that. And just be intentional about finding friends that do that. And not shaming your old friends or your friends that don't want to do it. I think that, and it's okay not to mix your friends. Like, I feel like some people don't get along. But I think that I'm not a person that mixes my friends. Just because I don't know how to fucking do that. Like, it just makes me awkward. Because it's just like, how do I mix my friends? Like, I don't know. I just be like, we all bitches, we all sit at the table, we all gonna talk. So I just don't know. I don't know. That's just not my thing. I don't know. My other friends are like really good at mixing, but my other friends are also hosts. And I think that's a funny thing. They are really good at, I think this is off key, but my other friends are good at mixing friends, but they're also people that host things. I am not the person that hosts things. I did it like one time really good, and that was for like my son's birthday. I was like really proud of myself, like, well, I did a really good job of hosting this. But I am not the person that hosts events and hosts parties. That is not my thing. But if you hand a nigga a mic, I'm gonna rock that bitch. That's my speed. But hosting parties and having everybody gather and keeping the vibes going, that is not my speed. And I tend to see the people that can host parties and literally host events tend to be great people that know how to categorize and my nose, I'm sorry. Know how to categorize and mix people, and they can mix their friends and figure out what mix and what doesn't. And those people are able to put like, hey, this is my friend with this, a lot better than most people are. That's just my observation. But whatever. Just know that you can make friends on social media. There's nothing wrong with it. Just don't shame your old friends. Like, you don't gotta be on that bitch like, my friends don't want to do this, these hoes broke, these bitches doesn't. Like, bitch, why you want to do that? Because now I'm offended if I'm your friend. Because, bitch, you ain't asked me if I wanted to do that. It says, I mix my friends. Some deal drugs and some are comedians. They all mesh. What? Listen, let's not mistake it, because good people is just good people. What's up? Do y'all be mixing y'all friends? Like, do y'all know how to mix y'all friends really well? And do y'all have friends for different things? I feel like I have my friends for different things. But for the most part, all my friends kind of align with the same thing. Like, they all kind of like the same thing, you know. Obviously very different ways, but they all kind of, you know, very similar things. Do y'all have friends that do different things? I feel like my friends, while they're all very similar, I feel like they still are different things. So do y'all have friends for like different things? Or like, do y'all like categorize your friends? Like, this my homie that's I'm gonna be sitting down smoking with, but they don't smoke, so when I'm with this homie, I do XYZ. Definitely, I think so too. So I'm gonna ask y'all, have y'all ever made a friend on social media? Black on the Play, Shoppers, everybody podcast in the building. Literally a friend I made on social media. That is so funny. Literally a friend I made on social media. Through work though. I would say that, because I think there's a difference I feel like it's so easy to make friends when you're working through social media than it is to just regularly make a friend. You know what I'm saying? And they can obviously be a friend made through business, and then you guys just become really good friends. I think that's always possible. But I'm saying, I feel like outside of work, because social media is really turned into business. Like, it's really hard that I'm ever on social media just joyfully doing something. I'm always like strategically thinking in my head when I'm on social media. I can't recall the last time I was just on social media just scrolling that I wasn't low-key in the back of my head thinking business. So Sha is definitely a friend I met from social media. I met a few people from social media, but not friends. See, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not talking business. I'm just saying friends. You ever met a homeboy? Oh, that's my dog. Like, I can meet people, like, you know, I don't know, if they stay in my complex and we see each other enough and they're cool. Okay, can you? Sorry. Okay, yeah, it's okay. Thanks, bud. Yeah, like, I've met friends on social media. Shaw's one for sure got cool from me. For real, literally, right? So, can you close the door, please? Thank you. So yeah, see? So I think, like, it's really possible. I think that a big thing with people is that it's just awkward. It can be really awkward, and people don't want to address how awkward it can be. I feel like when it comes to making friends of the same sex, it's hella awkward. And I feel like but the difference between making friends of the same sex on social media and making friends of the opposite sex on social media is that and I'm going to say this, outside of business, I feel like there's always this underlying sexual thing. Like, I don't know. And I only say that because I feel like it just is. Because I'm just being honest. I'm trying to think of sometime I follow somebody. If it wasn't for business, I was like, oh, they cute. Like, I'm literally outside of, like, if they got something on their page they promoting or something that it literally is business, maybe I'm lying. It's easier to approach people. It is easier to approach people on social media. It's a lot easier. But that also makes it harder to talk to people in person. It's a lot easier to talk to people on social media, but it makes it a lot harder to talk to people in person. And I think that's also a very tricky thing. That's why I feel like you gotta be able to do both, and you gotta be able to do one more than the other. I feel like there's like that lost art of walking up to people or like complimenting people in person. Like, I don't know, I haven't been out in forever, you know, on a good time, but I feel like I can't remember the last time I saw a guy walk up to a girl in person and try to get her number. Like, I'm just trying to think, and I can't, but I also haven't been in a club to see that. So fellas, like, do y'all do that still? Do y'all still walk up to a girl in front of her homegirls or pull it to the side and try to get her number? I feel like people don't do that anymore. They just be like, I saw you out in public or something, and then they shoot a your DM afterwards. I feel like that's the thing I see ladies say now. And it's not making friends or anything, but I feel like it's just a lost art of face-to-face communication. And social media has really added to that. So, do fellas still do that? Do y'all still walk up to a girl you see in public and you're like, hey, how you doing? I'll let her take you out? And granted, how a woman responds is, you know, we be thinking we're going to get shot. No cap. That's not even a joke. We really think we'll be shot, smacked, whatever, disrespected when we say we don't want to talk to you, because that's how niggas be sometimes. Hell yeah, I still holler at women in public. Really? I don't know when the last time I seen it, but I don't be out for real, so I don't really be knowing. But yeah, like, I think that you can make friends on social media. I think you absolutely should. I feel like it's a great place to meet people. And I'm just speaking just strictly friends. I think that there's some amazing people on social media. And I feel like you can, if you open your mind, you will meet a lot of them. To network, yes, my wife would hate me if I shot my shot. Yeah, she should hate your ass. You're like whole ass married. She should be absolutely pissed if you try to shoot a shot. Don't even play games. Don't even play. See, me and Dang Dad met, but we met in college. And that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of the people that you know that you're cool with, that you're friends with, like you meet in common spaces. We were always at OU. So that's how we met. And it's like me and Shy met on social media. So it's like, it's pretty dope. Like you can meet really good people through social media. You really just got to open your mind. And you got to be willing, to be vulnerable. I ain't saying tell them all your business. That's not what I'm saying. But I am saying, like, address the elephant in the room. Like, this shit is awkward. Like, y'all gonna laugh about how awkward it is. And once y'all break that ice, like, it's kind of like the ice, I think it is. When you break the ice about how awkward this is and how weird it is and what your initial thoughts would be, I think that you're able to move forward and open yourself to a beautiful, potentially beautiful friendship. And the same thing goes. I think you guys we gotta open our minds. But I also think that, don't be so caught up with what other people think. A lot of people met their spouses on Facebook. And I feel like if you can build a family with somebody that you don't even fucking know, you can definitely make a good friend. I don't know how I got hip to you. Maybe Clubhouse. You got hip to me through Clubhouse? It's Clubhouse? Really? Is that app still going? Because Clubhouse blew up for a second. And then it was like, as big as it blew up, is as quick as it died down. They was on Clubhouse going bananas. Like, I don't know. I was on Clubhouse for a little bit. It seemed pretty dope. I like the idea of exclusivity. So it's like you got to get an invite to get on there. I got on there. I met a couple friends. This is so random. This is like totally not related. But I was on there in a room one time talking. And first of all, let me tell you, I can't even think of the earliest version of a man that I love with locks. Like, I'm seriously thinking, like, I don't remember a man that I really was like, oh my God, I just love him with locks. And the first person I literally, outside of Murphy Lee, I cannot think of, I can't think of a man I love with locks in his hair, but I loved Murphy Lee. I loved Murphy Lee as a kid. Well, not as a kid, I was like young, but I loved Murphy Lee. He was dark skinned, he had locks, and he was with Nelly Lunatics. And I was like, oh my God, like, I love Murphy Lee. And then on the Clubhouse, I was talking in a room, and Murphy Lee followed me. And I was like, oh my God! I should have slid in the DMs then. I don't know what I was thinking. Because I was like, I just knew I was going to marry some Murphy Lee. That man was like, he was so fine to me growing up. I don't know, it's the first man I like with locks. It was cool when we were inside, but it's not needed anymore because we back outside. Absolutely. Yeah. You absolutely right. It was definitely cool to hear people's voices. It was different. And it served its purpose, which is, like a lot of things. I'm sure they made hella money off Clubhouse. But yeah, it's definitely not needed now. I haven't even heard anybody mention Clubhouse. I don't even know if Clubhouse is still going. But I will say the Black-owned social media site fan base is definitely something that I like being on. And I really could see if Black people migrated to fan base, I could see fan base blowing the fuck up. I met some really great fans on I met some really great people on fan base, and I've had some really good conversations on fan base. Much different than anything I've had on any other social media. I can honestly say that. And in just a little bit amount of time and a little bit of effort, I made a lot of money on fan base actually. So, but not a lot of it. I made a little bit of something, right? Not a lot. No, it's not a lot. Actually, I lied. It's not a lot at all. I gotta look at that. I don't think it's a lot. But anyways, I like fan base app. If you guys are on there, is the Black-owned social media by Isaac Hayes III. He is the son of Isaac Hayes. Y'all know famous Isaac Hayes. But yeah. So get on fan base. It's Black-owned social media. If you guys haven't, it's a really good way to make money. You can make it really quickly. Let me say that. Okay, really quickly. And I had fun. The conversations were great. I like fan base. But back to making new friends on social media. Not a lot. For real. I'm so serious. I had to think about it because I'm trying to think about, I'm looking at it in my head. I'm picturing an account. But I'm like, that's my fan base account. And I'm like, no, that ain't the fan base. That's a different account. And then I had to think like, no, I didn't make that money off it. I made that money elsewhere. But yeah, fan base was fun though. I'm not gonna lie. And you know what? Platonically, of course, the men I met on fan base were really good men. I mean, they could have been perping too, but them niggas was nice. Like, they were really nice, kind men. understanding. Like, I didn't meet niggas I gotta be arguing with about stupid shit like I be seeing on Facebook.
Why are you doing that work?
I am doing some work. Can you get out, please?
No.
I'm sorry. Can you get out? I need to finish.
No.
And when I'm done, I'll come out there and play with you.
Okay.
Thank you. Oh, no. But see, if I was a gentle parent, I would whooped his ass and then he'd be crying and shit. Gentle parenting. Anyways, fan base tech wasn't there when I first got it. Technology. Oh, it's there now. I was on there. Get on there. It's fun. I have good conversations. I like it. And the people are different. They have some really like nice people on fan base. For real. Like I'm sure everybody ain't. I'm sure some jackasses, but they were really like open-minded people. I'm really speaking to the men, because the women, there were some smart-ass people on the app. No cap. Like, these wasn't no niggas you gotta be arguing about the same. These weren't no conversations that what you bring to the table as conversation. I'm so tired of that bitch. And I wasn't talking to no motherfuckers who gotta ask stupid-ass questions like that on fan base. These were really intellectual conversations, really stimulating, fulfilling conversations. And I was like, well, damn, can I even have these conversations? I don't know if a bitch is up to par with y'all. But that was some good ass conversations I had on Fanbase. So I definitely encourage you to get back on there. If you ain't on there, he said it's time for dinner. That little forgot this is gonna be live and one day people are gonna bring this shit up. No, I made him food. He got dinner in there. He just wanna come in here and bother me. You know, kids like acting a fool when they really need to be on their best behavior, and then they be on their best behavior when you be expecting them to act a fool. That's what he on right now. It is mostly us on there. I know that. I know when no white people in there. Ain't no nigga. Ain't no. It's all of us on here. But yeah, I really want to just say that I think it's really easy to make friends on social media. I don't think we got to overthink it. I think that, I think the part that a lot of people may have a hard time with is when it just comes to like people don't want to give the very thing that they want. And it's like, it's awkward. We know it's awkward. You know it's awkward. We all know it's awkward. Just address that. I think that's like a big thing. Like, if you make a friend and you feel like you're gonna like, hey girl, let's hang out. And I'm referring specifically to same sex. It's so easy to make a friend out of a nigga you don't know on social media. It ain't that hard. Address the awkwardness. I think that it'll be much easier. I think it'll open a lot more doors. It'll break the ice. And I think that it really opens you both up to a great friendship, And definitely vet people, Vet people. A lot of people make friends, because of the aesthetics, and it's like, go ahead, keep making friends, and see what gets you when you're doing stuff like that. But I think that's all I got for today. I want to thank you guys for joining in outside of my little fan base rant I had. We went on a whole different thing there, but I want to thank you guys for joining in with me this Tuesday. You guys know I'm gonna go out the same way I came in, and I think that today I am grateful for. What am I grateful for? I don't know. I think I'm grateful for, I would say that I am grateful. I'm grateful to be in a better space now. I am grateful to be in a better space now. Yeah, that's what I'm grateful for. I'm grateful that God has positioned me to be in a better space. Yeah, that's all I got for y'all today. Yeah, that's all I got. My name is Cherrell Carter, you guys. I'm the host of Let's Talk the Show, and this ain't a podcast. I'll see y'all next Tuesday. Peace.